about you? Right for the microphone, I know how much you like that.
David, I know you're a very astute attorney, and I know this is, you wanted to put this all together, but you didn't have the legal grounds to do it. And what is Attorney General Greg Abbott saying about what is taking place today here on the City Hall? And is there any sort of legal barrier that you see in the future, near future, to overcome to make this actually a reality, or is this reality right now?
Well, I certainly didn't concur with General Abbott before I issued my legal opinion to the mayor. I am firm in my belief that the continued application of the charter amendment to deny benefits to legally married same-sex spouses is unconstitutional as a now equal protection laws. And to the extent that the state DOMA would compel the city to do so, that it would be unconstitutional itself. If the Attorney General believes that the city is acting contrary to state law in doing this, of course my response is that the United States Constitution is preeminent. But certainly the Attorney General would be free to contact the city if he had any concern.
My second question is, in the status of marital rights, so that the mayor don't have to go anywhere to get married, she can marry in the state of Texas. What barriers would have to be overcome to legalize the marriage in the state, right here in the state of Texas?
It would take a vote. Well, first of all, either the Texas constitutional provision, which defines marriage as between a man and a woman, would have to be overturned as it was in California. Or, in the alternative, the people of Texas would have to vote to change the Texas Constitution.
Okay.
So we would be in the same position that California is.
David, in your opinion, you mentioned that courts have upheld the state's law in this matter.
Well, the courts have gone both ways on the DOMA, the Texas DOMA.
Was there not a way for the city to initiate a court proceeding to get a more definitive result than just your opinion, your memo?
Well, as you know, Mike, lawsuits can come two different ways. You can bring them or somebody can file them against you. I did not think it was necessary or prudent in this instance for the city to file a declaratory judgment action. Didn't want to search for a defendant to do that. I thought it was more appropriate, since the mayor asked me to determine whether or not, in my opinion, the city was acting lawfully by continuing to deny these benefits. I furnished the opinion that we were, and therefore we have responsibility, as the mayor said, to act in a constitutional manner, and that's what she is doing today.
Would it not carry more weight if a judge were to rule that in your favor?
Well, the benefits will be provided. And they will continue to be provided. In terms of carrying more weight, we're not seeking to establish law here. We're seeking to treat people fairly in accordance with the law.
Do you expect legal challenges, and if so, do you have an idea of where those might come from?
The city is legally challenged every single day. Anyone who would volunteer can file a lawsuit. Nothing would surprise me anymore after 4 years of
We're being really clear, we're not creating a new class of marriage, we are not going to be conducting marriages. There are no marriages that are conducted in the state of Texas between same-sex couples that are considered legally valid. This is legal marriages for people who are married in those states, and I believe there's 17 states now. It changes daily, so I may have lost count, but I believe there's 17 states where couples can be legally married and then return to Texas or move to Texas. And it's our view, as is the federal government's view, that those marriages are legal and valid and they need to be recognized.
Mayor Parker, is there any effort to remove the prohibition on, there's a prohibition on domestic partnerships in the city? People like families like yourselves, that so you don't go out of state to get married. Is there any way to provide those benefits to domestic partners?
I think this the current legal situation takes us past the discussion of domestic partner benefits, with the opportunity to celebrate legal marriage for same-sex couples as well as heterosexual couples. The prohibition against domestic partner benefits still stands in our charter. It is not being challenged. And this will provide an avenue for those committed couples who choose to marry to fall under our benefits package.
Mayor, what would you say to a critic who might view this as your administration choosing not to enforce provisions that are unpalatable or inconvenient?
I'll read you the exact language in the city charter. Except as required by state or federal law, the City of Houston shall not provide employment benefits, including health care, to persons other than employees, their legal spouses, and dependent children. Nor shall the city provide any privilege or any promotion, hiring, or contracting to a person or group on the basis of sexual preference, either by vote of the City Council or an executive order of the mayor. Further, the City of Houston shall not require entities doing business with the city to have any of the above benefits or policies. It's very clear, their employees, their legal spouses, and dependents, children. Just the plain language of what is in the charter.
Except as required by state law.
State or federal law, and federal law trumps state law.
Mayor,
So, Mayor,
who
we'll
is
just go on.
defining who is legally married?
It's the same standard that anyone of you who may or may not be heterosexual in this room would have to provide to be legally married. A legal license issued in a state that grants and certifies your marriage.
Even though a state attorney doesn't recognize those to be legally married, even with the licenses?
Councilmember, were you married in Canada or were you married in the United States?
I was married in the United States.
Well, I was going to say,
I was born in the United States. I was married in the United
but
States.
you lived in Canada.
I did live in Canada.
So I was going to say, even marriages from other countries we recognize. There is a process, and it's the same.
So, Mayor, will this go into effect? So, Mayor, will this go into effect immediately, or is this for a later date?
It will go into effect immediately. I issued the memo yesterday to Mr. Reed so that he would have an opportunity to prepare. Again, we don't have any sense of how many employees there are who are already in legal marriages, but certainly it provides an opportunity for those couples who choose to marry to fall under our bigger benefit package in the future.
Have you heard any stories from employees who say this is an important decision to go out of state and get legally married now because they would get these benefits? Any kind of those employees that said that to you?
Absolutely. As I said, the issue was raised to me independently by different city employees across the spectrum who had already engaged in marriages in other states and wanted to know what the city's position was. But certainly I have had discussions with other city employees about whether they're going to choose to follow this path. I don't know that anybody is going to decide to marry someone simply for health insurance benefits. There are a lot of other things going with marriage. But I will say that financial considerations are probably one aspect of that. I know that in my own case that we spend probably $700 a month on health insurance, stripped down health insurance for my life partner. So there's a financial cost to this.
Ma'am,
But you've
you
made a
have-
fortune off of being the mayor, so.
That's why I drive that 10-year-old Acura.
Mayor, you have broken ground on two issues today that are going to be nationally monumental.
Hold on, Tony, so that we can get the other people out before we
You need to hear this, because you got some friends of mine back there.
Okay,
And I
go
really
ahead.
appreciate this coming to bear so that my friends can be life partners and do what they need to do. But I think, Mayor, today, with not only with what you passed in the ordinance today, ordinance 14, for wage step, but this is another major step as a milestone that's going to set precedents all across the country.
I appreciate that, and I truly appreciate the council members who are standing with me and the union